We're on to part 2 of 21 Guns by Green Day. If you haven't watched part 1, switch this video off and go back to part 1. Okay, part 2, here we go. You will notice that first of all my guitar's got a lot of echo or delay on. Listen to this. Can you hear that sort of echo in the background? One more time. Okay, now in the beginning of the song you're going to hear something that sounds like this. And then the acoustic guitar comes in and he starts singing. Now what I'm doing over there is what they call a volume swell. Let me focus more in on our right hand, or rather on your picking hand, and I'll show you what we're doing. This is my volume control. Okay, now what I'm doing is first of all my guitar switched off. No sound. So what I do is I take my finger here and you'll notice on your PDF at the top where it says intro, you've got 6, 3, 5, 5. I'm going to play the 6 first of all, which is this note here. And you can hear the guitar is still switched off. What you're hearing is just the acoustic sound of the guitar. Now, as I hit that note, watch this hand over here. And you can hear that echo. So what we're doing slow motion, if I come up close, try and get a better angle over here now, is something like this. As I hit on, I open up or switch this on like that. And then I switch it off immediately. So what's happening, as the signal comes through, it sort of fades in. And then when I switch it off, the echo keeps it going, which means when I go from the one note to the next note, you have something like this. And it gives almost a violin type effect, which is pretty cool as well. So I hope you get that right. If you're not sure, if you get a little bit stuck, watch the video again. But the trick over here is to first of all hammer on the note, open up the volume, and then shut it down and let the echo that I've demonstrated at the beginning, let that echo keep the note going for you. One more time. And those are those first 4 notes. Obviously it does it twice in a row in the beginning. That's the introduction solo for it. The next step now is the main solo at the end of the guitar. But before we get there, I'm going to switch the delay off and we're going to tackle that now. Now the solo. The solo should sound something like this when it's complete. And then it repeats. But let's first of all learn note for note what we're doing. There's some pretty cool slides, and your finger positioning is crucial. So please pay attention to the numbers. Try and use the same numbers, finger numbers, as allocated in the video. Now at the beginning of the solo, it's got a 6, but there's a / leading to the 6. That means a slide. And you don't really hear the starting note. You hear the effect of sliding to the 6. So what I did now was correct, and this would be incorrect. So you don't want to hear your starting note. Now it doesn't tell you where to slide from. So when it doesn't tell you, I found a safe guideline is 2 frets. So I need to be on 6, I'll slide from 4. If I slid from 3 to 6, or from 5 to 6, you wouldn't really hear a difference either. So your starting note's not that crucial, as long as you don't hear it, and the target note, the 6, is important. The reason why I want you to slide with the middle finger is because the next note, the 5, your first finger is in place. Check this out. Here's your slide. That's the 5, first finger is in place. Come back to the 6, and then you will see they do stipulate to slide from the 6 to the 8, because your middle finger's already there. I'm in fret 6 now, and now you can hear slide to the 8. You don't actually play the 8. The 8 sounds as a result of the slide. So if I take it through from the beginning now with all the techniques, you're going to have this. I'm going to count in, so if you want to play with, you can. 2, 3, 4, and after that you come back to the 5, 6, like that. Now the trick over here is not to do this. This is bad. You can hear both strings were ringing over there. So we need almost like a seesaw effect. And what I mean by that is when the one is down, the other one's up. When he comes down, the other one lifts up. And that ensures you only hear one note at a time. So your first phrase the whole way through again. 2, 3, 4, and now the second phrase is actually sort of the same thing, simply one string up and one fret forward, and it doesn't have the slide at the beginning. So your next phrase should sound like this. And you can hear the similarity in the tune itself. I'm going to get more of a head-on view now, just to get a bit of a different sort of perspective. And I'm going to take it through first and second phrase. 2 and 3 and 4 and. And from there, we now move to the next phrase, which goes down to fret number 3. And you'll notice there's a 3, 3, 3. Now watch the movement of the first finger. I'm not doing this. This would be bad, because that's a lot of movement. So what I'm doing is sort of rolling my finger across. Like that. It's much quicker. It also, at speed, also makes sure that this doesn't happen, which we don't want. Okay. After you've done that, your ring finger is already by fret 5. Back to the 3, and now you slide down to the 2. So that phrase is going to go. And the last part is super easy. You go to fret number 5 and you play 5 5s, followed by a 6 and an 8, all on the second string. And what sounds pretty cool there is you don't play the last 8, you slide. Watch my picking hands movement and you can see the slide take part. Works quite cool. Now we're going to take it the whole way through twice. Are we ready? 2 and 3 and 4 and. And after that, you do that last phrase one more time. In other words, you do from the 3s again. And you end it. Simple as that. That's your solo. Any questions, please drop me a WhatsApp. Happy to help. You got my contact details. Work the video through with your PDF file, obviously, and enjoy the Green Day solo. Take care.